Now, I feel like there could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. The money is there, and if these owners are smart with it, I could definitely see more WNBA players going overseas.
Caitlin Clark, the next Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan. That's what people are saying after seeing this leaked footage from Europe. And let me tell you, it's not just hype. We're seeing moves that'll make your jaw drop, passes that seem impossible, and a level of play that's got everyone talking. But here's the real story. It's not just about the skills, it's about the smile on Clark's face, the freedom in her play. It's like watching a whole new player. So what's different in Europe? And more importantly, what does this mean for the WNBA?
Our biggest star in the league, Caitlin Clark, is only making a base salary of around $76,000. Caitlin's rookie salary is a little over $300,000 for 4 years, and that's all that she's going to make in the WNBA.
We're about to break it all down, and trust me, you're gonna want to hear this. Picture this. Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation, steps onto the WNBA court. The crowd's buzzing with excitement, but something's off. You can feel it in the air. Clark's first few games seem promising, full of those jaw-dropping passes and incredible three-pointers we've come to expect. But then, things take a wild turn. Suddenly, Clark's not just playing basketball, she's dodging elbows, getting hip-checked, and the refs. They're just watching like it's no big deal. It's like she's got a target on her back, and every player on the court is taking aim. We're talking cheap shots left and right, the kind of stuff that makes you wince just watching it. Check this out. In one game against the Phoenix Mercury, Clark takes a hit that would make an NFL player cry for their mama. She's driving to the basket, ready to make one of those magical layups when bam, she gets absolutely clobbered. The crowd gasps, everyone's waiting for the whistle, but the ref doesn't even blink. It's like they're watching a different game or something.
But in the past, the only on record revenue that I could find of the WNBA is $60 million. What the WNBA has earned over the past years and the entirety of the WNBA, the numbers actually make sense. It's actually not that unfair.
And you know what's worse? It's not just the physical stuff. Now, Clark's dealing with some serious tension on the court. Players are giving her dirty looks, talking trash, and it feels like there's more going on than just basketball. Some folks are even whispering about racial tension and players plotting against her. It's like high school drama, but with million-dollar contracts on the line. Clark's WNBA experience is turning into a full-on nightmare. She's not just playing basketball anymore, she's surviving it. Every game is a battle, and not in the fun, competitive way. We're talking about a struggle just to make it through 4 quarters without getting seriously hurt. You can see it in her eyes. That spark, that joy she had when she first stepped on the court, it's fading. She's looking over her shoulder, hesitating before making those risky passes that used to come so naturally. It's like watching a star being slowly dimmed, and it's breaking basketball fans' hearts all over the country. Just when fans were losing hope, Clark pulls off her biggest surprise yet. A leaked training video shows her absolutely dominating, but not where you'd expect. What's the real story behind this footage, and why is it sending shockwaves through the basketball world? Turns out Caitlin Clark's been busy across the pond, and the footage is nothing short of jaw-dropping. We're talking about a video that's got everyone from die-hard fans to casual observers glued to their screens. It shows Clark training in Europe, and let me tell you, it's like watching a completely different player. Gone is the hesitation, the looking over her shoulder. Instead, we see Clark smiling, laughing, and playing with a freedom that's been missing from her WNBA games. She's draining threes like it's child's play, each shot smoother than the last. But it's not just the scoring that's got people talking. There's this one clip that's been replayed thousands of times already.
Now, I feel like there could be a team overseas who would love to snatch Caitlin Clark away from us and give her a crazy offer. The money is there, and if these owners are smart with it, I could definitely see more WNBA players going overseas.
Clark's got the ball, and without even a glance, she whips a no-look pass through 3 defenders. It hits her teammate right in the chest for an easy layup. The European players around her, they're going wild, high-fiving and cheering like they've just witnessed magic. And you know what? Maybe they have. Because this isn't just about fancy passes and three-pointers. It's about the energy on that court. There's no tension, no dirty looks, no cheap shots. Just pure, unadulterated basketball. It's like Clark's found her happy place, and it shows in every move she makes. But here's the kicker. This isn't just a feel-good story about a player finding her groove. It's a wake-up call. This leaked footage is showing us a whole new Caitlin Clark, one who's free, happy, and absolutely dominating. And it's got people asking some serious questions about the state of women's basketball in America. Why does Clark look so much more comfortable in Europe? What are they doing differently over there? And most importantly, what does this mean for the WNBA? Because let's face it, when one of your brightest stars looks 10 times better playing overseas, you've got a problem.
But in the past, the only on record revenue that I could find of the WNBA is $60 million. What the WNBA has earned over the past years and the entirety of the WNBA, the numbers actually make sense. It's actually not that unfair.
WNBA fans are freaking out, and for good reason. They're seeing what Clark can do when she's truly unleashed, and it's making them wonder what they're missing out on back home. It's not just about the flashy plays or the point totals. It's about seeing a player truly enjoy the game, free from the drama and tension we've seen in the WNBA. While fans are buzzing about Clark's newfound freedom on the court, there's an elephant in the room we need to address. What's really driving this European exodus? 2 words: cold, hard cash. And the figures we're about to reveal, they'll make your head spin. Let's talk numbers. And trust me, you'll want to sit down for this. In the WNBA, Clark's rookie salary is a measly $70,000. That's right, you heard me correctly. The face of the league, the player everyone's talking about, is making less than some entry-level office jobs. It's like paying LeBron James in Monopoly money. Now, let's hop across the pond and see what Europe's offering. You ready for this? European teams are ready to throw $500,000 per season at Clark, and that's just for starters. We're talking about her making more than 7 times what she'd earn in the WNBA.
Maybe if they had 10 Caitlin Clarks spread throughout the league, maybe it would be watchable then. If you're one of the dozens of fans in the WNBA, it is only going to get worse from here.
It's like going from a kid's lemonade stand to owning the whole dang beverage company overnight. But hold up, it gets even crazier. It's not just about the paycheck. European teams are rolling out the red carpet with perks that'll make your head spin. We're talking chartered flights, no more cramped economy seats or long layovers, luxury apartments in the heart of beautiful European cities, personal chefs, trainers, you name it. It's like being treated like royalty, while the WNBA is handing out fast food coupons.
WNBA players actually don't make that much money because we haven't been paying attention how Caitlin Clark actually was advocating for actually not even her own teammates, but for other teams' players.
You know what's wild? Clark could potentially make 10 times more in Europe than she does in the WNBA. 10 times. And she doesn't have to deal with all the drama we've been seeing stateside. No more dodging elbows or worrying about refs not calling fouls. It's all about the game, the way it should be. The salary gap isn't just a little problem for the WNBA. It's a full-blown crisis. We're talking about the potential face of women's basketball in America choosing to play overseas because the money's better. It's like if Tom Brady decided to quit the NFL to play in the Canadian Football League because they offered him a better deal. It just doesn't make sense. And you know what's even crazier? This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Caitlin Clark drew 1.8 million viewers on ABC. It was the most watched playoff game since Game 2. The most dominant team in the league. They can't draw 500,000 viewers for a playoff game.
Clark isn't the only player facing this choice. Stars like Brianna Stewart and Jonquel Jones have been vocal about the financial struggles in the WNBA. They're having to play year-round, risking injuries and burnout just to make a decent living. It's a system that's pushing its best players away, and sooner or later, something's gotta give. Speaking of things giving way, there's another crack in the WNBA's foundation that's got everyone talking. Remember those brutal hits Clark was taking stateside? Well, in Europe, it's like she's got an invisible shield. What's going on here? Let's break it down. Picture this. 2 games, same player, totally different stories. In the WNBA, Clark's getting hammered, elbows are flying, bodies are crashing, and the whistle? Silent. It's like she's playing rugby out there. Not basketball, but hop across the pond, and suddenly it's a whole new ball game. In Europe, it's like Clark's got a force field around her. The refs are on it, protecting the star like she's made of glass. Every little touch, whistle. Every questionable move, whistle. It's like they've got a direct line to Clark's personal bodyguard or something. You want stats?
However, I hope Kat Engelbert is ready for disappointment because there's a hell of a lot more of it on the way. They tried to convince us that there are other players in the dump capable of drawing an audience.
I've got stats that'll make your head spin. In her last WNBA game, Clark got fouled 12 times. Guess how many of those got called? 3. Just 3. That's like getting punched in the face 4 times and the ref only noticing once. It's insane. Now let's talk Europe. In her first exhibition game over there, Clark barely got touched. And when she did, the whistle was blowing before she even hit the ground. They're treating her like the star she is, making sure she can shine without worrying about taking a trip to the ER. But here's the thing, this isn't just about Caitlin Clark getting special treatment, it's about respect for the game and the players who make it great. The refs in Europe aren't just calling a game, they're sending a message, oh, we value skill over brute force. We want to see the best players do what they do best. This isn't just about fair play, it's about player safety and the future of the game. When stars like Clark are getting beaten up on the court, it's not just their bodies that take a hit, it's their confidence, their creativity, their ability to push the boundaries of what's possible in basketball, and when that happens, we all lose out.
More than likely, the WNBA, they won't see another Caitlin Clark in my lifetime. There were regular season games this season where Caitlin Clark drew more than 1.8 million viewers.
Alright, let's wrap this up. Caitlin Clark's not just switching teams, she's changing the game. The WNBA's facing a real crisis here. Their stars are looking at Europe and seeing dollar signs, respect, and a chance to play without fear. It's not just about Clark anymore. It's about the future of women's basketball in America. The league's gotta step up or risk losing its best players. We're talking better salaries, safer games, and some real respect for these athletes. The WNBA's announced plans to invest $50 million in player travel, but is it enough? With Clark's exit, sponsors might start jumping ship too. The clock's ticking, and the ball's in the WNBA's court. What happens next? That's the million-dollar question.